Just
And be
forever.
like, this be a time capsule when we're at episode 100. Open it just to
Open
see
it.
what.
Do you want to know what's in there? This
Is
stuff.
it actually Cheetos?
Is it?
I I don't want to know. I want this to be a reveal at one point.
It is.
I
It
know.
is from Halloween. I mean, it's like the. It's from the Halloween tin.
A bag of bones.
Did you just not want them, or are they just sitting there, kinda?
Well, that's the secret, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Right. That's like part of the
Now,
whole mystery.
Here's the thing: is there actually bones in it?
Like what? Like human bones?
Yeah.
No, rat bones.
Rat bones.
Rat bone.
There was once a
So I'll use it to crunch.
I saw a like just outside my house. There was like a dead cat. Right, a cat that got hit, or whatever. It stayed there for a really long time. It stayed there long enough that all of its body and stuff decomposed and like was eaten by other animals. It was just like a cat skeleton. I thought about grabbing it. I didn't, but
No,
you,
stop it.
you don't want to have like a
Get some help, Mateo. You need
That's
you
some
need
fucking
some.
help.
you don't want like a it'd be cool to have like a cat skeleton.
No.
No.
Well, I knew someone, not someone.
Stop.
I just
No.
up at the redneck college. There was a guy, on the first floor of my resident hall, that would grab squirrels every day, and then let them fester in his room to collect the bones to make like structures and stuff.
What? Like, what's he making?
I don't know. He never got to that point because he got in trouble for it from the RA.
Is that against like school rules to like?
Well, I mean, when the whole building smells like shit, I mean, it's.
I thought that was because you
Yeah.
were cooking veal.
No, that was a whole different thing. That was when the place caught on fire. The,
God,
I
that's
like how Chance looks like he's looking into the void.
he's just so
Hey, I'm disappointed.
just so disappointed. Okay, so I guess we could like introduce ourselves. I'm still me. My name's Mateo. I play video games and stuff.
Yeah, this is the threequel.
The
Let's
threequel.
continue with the bit. Um, I'm Striker. I almost said my legal name. I'm not doing
Your
that.
government name. They're
My
gonna come and get
government
you.
name. I know. Well, it's funny. Based on name population, I'm the only one in the United States, so it'd be easy to find me.
Ooh.
So, I know.
You hear that, ladies?
I
He's
I
easy
didn't
to
go
find.
seek.
That's true.
I don't know why I did that.
I'm Chance. I'm a boy.
Chance a boy. How we
I'm the
doing?
boy.
Boy.
I'm good.
No, I
Playing-
think it's
playing games.
playing games.
Playing
Yeah.
games.
I
Yeah.
haven't talked to any of y'all in a few days. I feel weird.
Yeah.
It feels weird that I
Except-
haven't talked to Chance and like we live in the same town, 10 minutes away from each other. You don't ever take me
Yeah.
anywhere nice anymore.
You know.
You just don't take them on these like lovely park dates and stuff anymore.
The funniest thing is, it's like we had been seeing each other like every week to play Hunt a Killer, but we skip 1 week. We take 1 week hiatus, and now he's like, I never see you anymore.
I don't see him anymore. We used to spend time together. It was nice quality time.
We literally talked on Tuesday.
That's what I pointed out to him. He's like, I haven't talked to you in a week. I'm like,
Dude,
"We
I feel like I
talked
haven't
this
talked
past
Striker
Tuesday."
forever. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's happening.
Probably some like hospital thing, you know.
Yeah, he's probably like in the hospital again,
dying
like
again.
dying of mono.
No, I test. Why'd you have to mention that? I tested negative. What about that herpes? Did you mention
Did
that?
you get
No.
that? I didn't mention the herpes, but if you want to talk about your
No.
herpes, we can do that.
No, I don't have that. But
This is a
No,
video
I wouldn't-
game podcast.
Is
this is
it?
a video
Is it a video game podcast? Do we play video
No,
games here?
really.
Keep telling me.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling people that we're having
The
a.
topic keeps changing every week.
The topic
Not
keeps changing
really
every
every week. It's been a month since we last recorded.
We were supposed to record last week, but I got stuck. I was helping my mother get her tire repaired, and it was such an issue because we go there and it takes like an hour. Then the insurance won't cover it. So then we have to pay out of pocket. It was $100 to get this tire repaired. I wasn't prepared to spend $100 on that. It's just...
Yeah. This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things. Chance, how's your week been?
It's been good. I've been working, but I've also been playing a video game, and Mateo has been playing it too.
Nah,
and we want to talk about it.
We could talk about it.
We want to talk about it.
We could talk about it.
Which one? The vampire one? You guys have been playing?
We've been playing Code Vein.
Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Fun fact. I looked it up. Code Vein is almost exactly 3 years old now. It came out May 31st in 2019.
Look at
so
that.
It's almost 3 years old.
It's the Code Vein special. Pour one out for Code Vein.
Code Vein special. Yeehaw. But we've been playing it. I am a Souls game player. I played Dark Souls. I skipped Dark Souls 2. Played 3, Bloodborne, a little bit of Sekiro, Elden Ring. Remnant from the Ashes is a Souls-like that I really enjoy.
I want to get back into that.
It's very fun. But, and so when Mateo said, hey, let's play Code Vein, this incredibly anime version of a Souls-like game, I was hesitant, but it was also on sale for like $13, so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I love it.
I just want to get it because of it had like it's edgy anime bullshit and had like an anime girl on it with like a Russian hat, like the tall Russian hat. She's like a blonde. I was just like, I just wanted for that.
There was a review on I think it was Metacritic. I'm trying to find it now because it was hilarious. God, I want to find it. It was something like, if you are cool with like anime, Dark Souls, and My Chemical Romance all smashed together, you're going to like this game.
Sounds
Here
like
it
middle
is.
school.
It was a review from PC Games. An unholy union of anime, Dark Souls, and My Chemical Romance. Code Vein is as much about style as a substance. And it's like, yeah, no, that checks.
That's like the funny thing about it though, is that that's pretty much what everyone says, right? It's like, it's anime as hell. It's edgy. It's like bombastic. The story is like compelling, but not any good. But it's like,
it's compelling, not great, but yet every single time there's like these narrative like little instances where you like are walking through just like scenery while like audio clips play. And
it reminds me of my Life is Strange.
Like every single time those happen, I'm like focused on it. I pay attention to the story hardcore. Mostly because I do understand it, and so I want to know what happens. But I'm also like, is it good? Not really. But like, I want to know.
No, like you were telling me because you're a little bit further than me because I suck and got mad and started playing a different video game. But I was guessing the plot as it was going on. It was just correct. I was like, well, it's either this or this. He's like, have you seen this? Have you done this before? I'm just like guessing the plot. It's like, because it's anime bullshit. Like, what else is it gonna be? It's like, it's an
literally
anime.
almost any generic anime plot point that you can think of, it most likely happens in this game.
But it's very specific though to like that edgy sense. Like everything like around Attack on Titan, basically, right? And like when it first came out. So it really reminds me of this anime called Seraph of the End. And it was made by Studio Wit, the same studio that does Attack on Titan. And it's literally just like Attack on Titan with vampires. And it's about two friends, like, because, you know, humans God, it's literally the plot of Code Vein. The humans are like, pushed all the way to the brink, right? And they basically get separated. 'Cause like the whole family and stuff gets killed or whatever. And one of them ends up becoming a vampire. And the other one literally joins the like vampire hunting corps. And it's this like really, really edgy, like pseudo homoerotic like story. Like it's like Romeo and Juliet without the romance and way more edge. And like you meet like the one girl, she's like spunky and short and like good at her job, and he's like, Naruto basically and sucks at everything. And and then one has this tragic backstory about how they lost a family member. But yeah, no, it's just like I could just call the plot points. It's like I don't know if that says something about the game or how much anime I've watched.
I think both.
So
But
how you like
Yeah,
how's it compared to other like Souls games? Well, like the big, I guess, Dark Souls, right?
yeah, so the biggest like common thing is it's got the obvious like Souls like mechanics where you kill enemies, you get like whatever currency it is in Souls games. It's souls and I'm blanking on what they call it in this game, honestly.
Ether? Is it Ether? No, it's Haze. It's Haze.
Haze is what they call it.
Because it's
yeah.
edgy. You're
Yeah.
walking through life in a cloud of haze.
Haze. Yeah, sure. But so you kill enemies, you get haze, and you use that to level up. If you die, you go back to your last checkpoint. Enemies respawn. If you have to heal and recover like healing items, you have to go back to that checkpoint to rest. But resting at checkpoints revives enemies. So it's the basic Souls-like formula. The major differences this game adds is there is a class specking element where there are multiple classes you get throughout the game known as vestiges and all that. And you can freely switch between them. The leveling system, it's not like you spec into specific stats like strength, dexterity, anything like that. You just level up. And if you're level 50 and you're a hunter, and then you go, I don't want to be hunter anymore, I'm going to be a caster. You just choose caster, and it changes all your stats to be a level 50 caster. You still have to upgrade your equipment and that kind of stuff in order to like even out. But you can freely change classes, and then you have abilities that you activate, which have cooldowns and passive abilities that you can spec out. So it has a lot more customization in terms of how you attack enemies and how your gameplay goes. Whereas Dark Souls, it's very much just dependent on the weapon you use.
Yeah, and like
That's
you
everything.
still have it's very much a Souls style game in that it's slow, it's deliberate. You're not animation canceling, which is my biggest issue with it. I need to slow down, but it also still has that like fighter anime flair. Like you can still kind of bounce around a bit, and you're like jumping in the air. You got big, powerful like anime attacks and stuff. So like, it still has that flair to it. But like you were saying with the customization, it's weird at first because it's an RPG, right? With all of the different like stats and everything, but you don't pick them. They're set to the class that you switch between. I was like, why do you have all these stats and you can't pick any of the stats? I was really confused by that. It's like, it's just a class. Like you don't go into play Overwatch, for example, and you're looking at like all of Tracer's individual stats. You just know Tracer has higher damage and lower health. Like it's that simple. But it's because all of the abilities aren't tied to the class. The abilities have stat requirements. But like you could take an ability from like the warrior class and use it on the ranger class, but you just may not have the stats to be able to equip it. So the stats are so you know what abilities you can use on what classes because they're not locked to any classes. So that's what's really cool and interesting about it. It took a little bit for me to wrap my head around that. But
yeah, I definitely I just now started doing different classes, like using different abilities with different classes. So I've been running Prometheus the majority of the game.
Yeah.
Which is more of like it's a combat class, but they're pretty like weak to damage, to that type of stuff. But their whole thing is dodging and parrying. So I've been running that for a while, but then I unlocked trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called like Dayseeker, Darkseeker.
Darkseeker.
Its whole thing is about inflicting venom effects. So I have some of these abilities that work with the Darkseeker to inflict some venom effects, but yet I'm still the other class while zipping around, dodging, parrying. But now they've kind of combined in a way, which is very cool, very interesting. Adds a lot of like customization to how you play your game and how you spec out your build. Which I very much enjoy.
I've been using, since I'm using the bayonet, I've been using all of the ranger abilities on the hunter, because you have like 8 slots that you can put abilities and stuff on. So I just took all the abilities from ranger and put them on hunter, and using all those. And every time I go into a fight, I just like click, 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 click all my buffs all at once, and then I live for like 2 seconds longer than I would have normally. I'm in that section where like right after it's like the second or third area, right, where we left off at. It's just all cliffs, and the camera's so bad. Oh my god, the camera's annoying. Like,
I've got bad news for you, Mateo.
No, shut up. Why?
You know how the cliffs are all about, like, there's a bunch of winding pathways and you have to jump down onto certain cliff sides and all that? The cathedral is that, but like worse.
Oh god, no. See,
because it's a bunch of interwoven staircases and bridges that occasionally there's just missing fence pieces, and you look down and there's a spot you have to jump down onto, and like it's very easy to get confused on where you're going.
Okay, so here's my question. So like is that normal for Dark Souls games, where like one of my issues is that when I'm getting surrounded on like a narrow pathway where I'm trying to like dodge, backpedal, do whatever, what's happening is, because there's no real way to aim a gun, right, as opposed to a sword, which is just a wide arc, so you can kind of just point yourself in the direction, you almost have to lock on with your ranged attacks. So what's happening is sometimes I'll lock on and I'll either be walking a different way, or the enemies are gone, or they've moved out of my range or whatever. So the lock on reorients your camera to the way your character's facing. So I'll be facing one way, right? Like my camera will be facing one way looking at the enemy. I'll hit the lock on button, and all of a sudden my entire camera flips a 180 and I roll off the side of a cliff. Like that's basically what happens. So is that a thing in Souls games? Like, does the lock on or like camera button reorient yourself to the way your character's facing?
I think so. It's hard for me to imagine what you're talking about without like literally just seeing it.
Yeah.
I think it does. The thing with like more like the Souls game kind of thing, like guns aren't used in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
There's bows, crossbows, that kind of thing, but there's actual like you can actually aim with them if you wanted to. Like there, you can go to like literally it's just like a first-person camera, but with like a little aiming reticle. That
that's like a crosshair and stuff.
Yeah, so you can do that. It's super, super slow. So it's like you don't get a lot of people using bows, crossbows in Dark Souls. The only Souls game that I can think of besides Remnant, because Remnant is a full-on
it's a shooter, yeah.
The only other game that uses guns really is Bloodborne. But Bloodborne, the guns aren't so much a gun, so much as a method of parrying.
Yeah.
So you're not really shooting the enemy to damage them. You're shooting them to then stun them, which allows you to get a visceral attack.
Kind of like other games that have like that kind of like, it reminds me of Assassin's Creed, how like Black Flag or any of the ones that have guns, like you'll be doing your normal, or even like Batman, something you'll be doing your normal attacks, and then you'll like one of your buttons is more or less kind of dedicated to your gun. You wrap off your gun, that'll stun the enemy or whatever, and you continue beating things. But yeah, that's what's happening is that because you're running away from an enemy, it's quicker to turn around and run from them than it is to like backpedal. So my character will be running towards the camera while my camera is facing the other direction. I hit the lock on button, which is R3, and then because I'm not locking onto an enemy, my camera just goes whoop, and now I'm facing the wrong way.
Yes.
And I just roll off a cliff. So
Yep.
I just roll off a cliff. But Striker, you've played you haven't played any like Soulsborne games. You played Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
You played, what's it called?
Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order? Fallen Order of the Jedi?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of it? Was it like, did you find it too hard? Did you put it on easy?
I had a similar issue that you had, where the normal difficulty was too difficult, but the easy difficulty was too easy.
Yeah.
Where I almost just went back to normal to deal with it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Even though I was gonna get really frustrated.
Because like
I had a fun time.
Yeah, it was too. What I'm learning about Souls games, because it's not necessarily that I'm like super opposed to difficult games. It's that I'm more opposed to the idea that Souls games don't want you to mess up. They want you to get good and like pay attention and do everything very deliberately. Cause like I like spectacle fighters, like Nier Automata, Ninja Gaiden. Those are known for being hard games, but also I could just continuously like chug health potions as I'm doing that. Right, even Monster Hunter, right, which more or less plays like a Souls game but drunk. You can just chug health. You can build health potions out in the field in Monster Hunter. Yeah. So I'm just constantly drinking health potions. Like it's not punishing me as hard for not being good, other than the fact that I simply can't beat the boss. But you do that in a Souls game, and I'm sent back to the beginning of the area and I have to beat all the enemies again. It's like, and every time you hit a checkpoint, it's like, well, I could heal, but that's going to respawn all the enemies.
Yeah. The one thing I have noticed with Code Vein, except for the area that I'm in now, and we'll see if it continues, because apparently I'm nowhere close to the end of the game, even though I'm like level 50. Which
I heard there's like hundreds of levels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm on the I think I looked it up. I'm on the 6th area in terms of like areas you can travel to.
Oh god, I'm still where you
like,
left me.
Home base. So like there's the Ruined City, the home base, city center, Howling Pit, dried up trenches. I'm in the Cathedral of the Sacred Blood, which is the 6th area. There are 9 more areas after this one, and that's just in terms of areas. That doesn't include the depths.
That's what I was gonna say. Have you done like because that's like their like roguelite, right? Like areas like randomly generated stuff. I did it in the demo.
Chalice dungeons.
Yeah,
it's like the Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne.
Okay.
To which there are 12 of those, and then there's 3 more in include depths in the DLC. So I'm nowhere close to done with this game. But like the thing I was gonna say was a lot of the areas, it's like, oh, you're about to face a boss, you unlock a checkpoint that's like relatively close to the boss, and you can literally just go there without having to fight a single enemy. So you'll go in there, you'll have full health, full healing, you're good. The Cathedral Ward though says, screw you, you're gonna have to run through 6 enemies, 4 of them being kind of difficult. And if you're gonna get to the boss and you have no healing, you might as well turn your ass around and go heal again and try again. Because like it gets rough. I've literally like leveled up a good 3 or 4 times just because I've gone down, beat all the enemies, realized I didn't have the health to fight the boss, come back, try again, didn't do it, come back, oh, I can level up, okay, let's go again.
In a weird way, it almost reminds me of Sifu. I don't like. Have any of you guys played Sifu?
I want to play that.
It's like
so
it's made by the guys who did
I've never heard of it.
Absolver. Absolver was like that like kung fu like multiplayer like MMO kind of style game. They made that so it's like a really difficult. Like think a fighting game mixed with like co-op. It's basically what these games are. but they're really difficult. And every time you die, you will age up. And once you get to a certain age, the next time you die, you'll be dead forever. And what the game requires you to do is you'll get to the end of a level, and that's the age that that becomes your max, like your minimum age carrying over into the next level. So what the game wants you to do is go back, replay level so that you can finish the level at a low enough age, so that when you go over, so like, for example, you're playing, you die a bunch of times, you get to the end of level 1, and you're 45. Well, when you go into level 2, you can't be any younger than 45 at that point. So what you need to do is go play level 1 again, so you can finish at 25. So now that you have more health basically for the next level. Souls games have like a similar mentality in that I can't, like, when I restarted a checkpoint to make it to a new area, say I died and I'm trying to go pick up my stuff or whatever. Well, I can't just run through it because I'll get hit a bunch, I'll die a bunch. Now I'm back to where I am and still I have no health. So every time I restart an area, I have to take the same level of care as the first time I played it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
you
God,
can't be reckless.
Yeah. It's not a...
Being reckless in a Souls game just automatically leads to death. You need to be constantly, like, vigilant, because even the simplest of enemies, if you're just, like, not paying attention and you're not focusing, you don't have to, like, focus 100%, but, like, if you're not giving proper, like, care, you will die. That little tiny enemy will kill you.
Yeah.
Like, everything is dangerous in these games, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that it's like, this isn't it can be to an extent. It's not a turn your brain off kind of game.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I know some
actually
people
have to
play
pay
it,
attention
and
focus.
I know some people play and they're like, yeah, no, I've done this enough that you can kind of get into like this zone and just kind of do it. But you're still never like turn off, right? It doesn't allow you to make too many mistakes. And it's like, I just want to make mistakes. It's like passing a test, right? Like you're doing a test in school and you get like a C. You're like, great, I got a C. I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. But this game is like, nah, you gotta get an A, and then continue to get an A every single time you take it.
Here's a comparison I heard someone make about Souls games that I personally really, really like, and I'm curious if you, after hearing this, Mateo, you feel a little bit different about Souls games. I heard someone at one point compare Souls games to rhythm games. You have to essentially make your beats and hit them at the right time. If you don't, you will fail the song. It is just like in any Souls game. You have like the beats you need to hit. Your tells aren't like things moving on a track, but it is an enemy winding up an attack. You need to hit your dodge at the right time, plan your attacks at the right time. If you don't do your things at the right time, you're going to fail and die. You're going to have to restart.
Yeah, no. I've actually heard that same thing. I don't know if we watched the same. I don't know if you heard it from a person or watched a YouTube video. I heard it from a YouTube video. But, no, I
have been the one to tell me this.
yeah, because I do agree. I think it is. It's very rhythmic. But I'm also just impatient. So, like, yes, it's music, but it also reminds me of in percussion class when you have a ballad and you get your sheet music and it's like an 8-minute piece and it just says 94 measures of rest. It's just, here's 94 measures of rest. It's like, I mean, I still got to be in time and count, kind of.
Maybe I'm just like, I was primed for this type of game thanks to like being a percussionist in high school, because I have visceral memories of one single super slow piece that we did in band, and it starts with the bells, which I was playing bells, piano, and like chimes, all playing the same notes at the same exact time, and it was just dum 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 dum, and every single time, that's the very first like part of the song. Every single time that we were not perfectly lined up, if there was any sort of flam or anything in that, our director would cut us off and we'd go again. Oh,
yeah.
Nope, cut it off again. Nope, cut it off again. And so, like, maybe I'm just primed for this.
You're primed
I've
for
been
it.
scarred by high school.
You're afraid the game's gonna yell at you, and it's like, no, start over, delete your save.
The band director's gonna climb out of the TV and slap me one silly or something. I don't know.
No, I do know what you mean, like, especially in band, right? Because we were both percussionists in high school and stuff. But no, I know exactly what you mean. It is that slow, like, the difference with like a rhythm game is that Dark Souls is almost the opposite in that rhythm games are easier the harder you play them at, right? Like I know you can attest to this. You like get a rhythm game. No one starts on like easy, and very few people even start on hard. I mean, on normal. Like normal is easy, and hard is basically where you start any brand new song, unless you are to the point where you're starting higher, because you play these games at easier difficulties, and all of a sudden they become unplayable.
Yep.
You're like,
I can't play, like, even when I hop back onto Beat Saber after not playing it for, like, over a year, I didn't start on normal. I went to Expert because previously I was running on Expert Plus.
yeah, I started on
Like,
hard.
I can't do Expert Plus. I'm not back to Expert Plus, but I can do Expert.
So, Striker. So you played Star Wars. Like, are you a hard game kind of person? Like, do you want your games to like kick you and?
Yeah, a little bit. Because I find when I play, any type of game really. I play a lot of sports games, obviously, because I hate myself. But but
That's not so much you hate yourself in terms of difficulty. You just hate your wallet, apparently.
apparently I
Buying
do.
the same game every 6 months.
Pay my nerd fee to EA.
Yeah, I don't do it as much anymore. I don't. Or EA or 2K, of one of the two. But I would get really like, say for like a football game. I love when I play a football game against someone or the computer or something like that. If I'm up 60, I get really bored. But if it's a close game, like 3-point difference, I'm like, oh, I really like this game. And I don't like it. I want to win, and I want it to be close. Like in most games, I don't like blowing out. Like I don't like dominating. It frustrates me because I lose interest. Where I'm like, I just don't want to do this. Like I need some type of competition to do something, which is why I love competitive games. Because
yeah, you're a big competitive. See, I'm not a competitive game person. One, because I'm shit. And two, I just like doing things like with people. Like I like growing that bond. It's like going to a movie. Like I go to a movie with somebody, not necessarily because like watching movies with other people is just like the worst experience ever. But you want to go to movies with people so you can share those experiences, right? So you guys can laugh at the same parts. I can like lean over, tap Chance on the shoulder, and be like, "That was dumb," all right. And then after the movie, we can talk about the movie and talk about our shares. Like, did we think the same parts were funny? Did we? So we grow together, as friend stuff, as opposed to a competitive game, especially when it's like just the three of us. It's like, I guess I'll play you in Smash or whatever. That's fine, but
I can't play Smash.
I know because you're lame.
I used to play Smash on Nintendo 64.
I suck at Smash too.
The best Smash.
Was that?
I remember my Nintendo 64 because I was staying at my aunt's house, living in her basement at the time. A lot of things surrounding that. But I was playing like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, Mario 64, Super Smash, and Smash and all that. It was a good time.
I'm curious. Like I want to get Striker into a Souls game, but like I don't know if dropping him straight into like either Dark Souls or
I want to
like
watch him get
Elden
tilted.
Ring I would love that.
What'd you say?
I mean, you beat Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he beat Star
yeah.
Wars. I think Star Wars though is a bit more forgiving because, like, I don't have a lot of experience with Souls games, but the pure nature of it being Star Wars, right? And this isn't prequel trilogy Star Wars combat or nothing, but it's still Star Wars, right? So it's a bit more flashier than you would expect. So it gives itself a little bit more leeway in that. Plus, you know, you're a space wizard, so that that helps.
Yeah. Well, how would I don't think this would be a good comparison. Playing like one of like the Arkham Batman games without like the HUD or anything, like on the highest difficulty. Would you
No,
consider
because
that?
the what I think what makes a Souls game, yes, the combat, but more so the philosophy behind how the game plays.
Okay.
The philosophy, I would say it's just like the major things that makes a Souls game is the whole idea of like, yes, the difficulty is high, any enemy can kill you kind of thing, but it's the progress of it. So when you die in a Souls game, you lose all your souls.
Yeah, it's kind of
and
permadeath
you
in a
have
way.
you have to go and recover it. But if you die on your way to recover, you lose it all. And so it's that tension of, okay, I need to fight and beat this, but if I lose, I have to recover. And if I don't recover, that is hours of progress just gone. Like, these are souls you might have been gathering for who knows how long. If you die on your way recovering them, that's all gone.
Do they
And
do
so
that in Code Vein?
Oh, yeah.
I guess I've never
yeah.
died twice in Code Vein. Back
You
to
know
back.
what? You know what that means? Minecraft and Stardew are Souls games. So you can
Because Minecraft and Stardew are not focused on like specifically the combat and that kind of thing. Like, yeah, you.
So
lose,
it's Terraria
that's
is
just
what you're
called a
saying.
Video game.
It's
Souls
because
game.
Terraria is focused on its combat.
I don't know.
No,
I've never played Terraria, so I actually.
It's
can't talk about that.
it's Minecraft. But
I know it's
side-
Minecraft.
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
side scrolling Minecraft.
Arkham Batman then wouldn't be a good compare, especially because it's like once you upgrade all like your abilities and your suit and stuff like that, you're kind of unstoppable even
Yeah.
on like the highest difficulty.
Well, what's weird
where
about
it's-
Batman is, oddly enough, because we were talking about how Souls games are like rhythm games. Oddly enough, the Batman games popularized the rhythm combat
Yeah.
style.
That
It's literally called-
used.
Yeah,
and
it's
all that.
literally called rhythm combat.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah.
funny. Is that it? Like, I very much agree that like Souls games are like a dance, but Batman is also, the combat is literally called rhythm combat.
All right. So Striker has played Jedi Fallen Order, which I honestly think, like, I didn't even think about Jedi Fallen Order in terms of like a Souls-like game. It definitely is.
It definitely is.
So I would honestly say like Jedi Fallen Order, especially with the fact that it does have like a difficulty spread. I'd say that'd probably be like the best game to start on if you're like unsure if the Souls-like game is for you. I'd say it's like, okay, try Jedi Fallen Order. If you enjoy that gameplay, wouldn't mind it being like maybe a little bit more difficult. You don't have that leniency of a difficulty like selection. Then maybe research some other Souls games. But I'm trying to think like, what would be the next step? Like, Striker has played Jedi Fallen Order. What would be the next Souls game to get him started on
Elden
to
Ring?
see if this is actually something he'd like?
Elden
Elden Ring is definitely a good option.
I feel like that's the
it's
easy
latest
option,
thing,
especially
and
right now, though. That's
it's
like,
the latest thing. It's super good. It's super, since it's open world, you can kind of go do whatever the hell you want.
What about Bloodborne?
put him into Sekiro. Although,
God,
but although, if you're not a Soulsborne player,
you might be better in
you might be better at Sekiro.
That's true.
Oh, you know what's a game that has Souls-like stuff and then turns out is nothing like a Souls game? Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
It has
little bit,
Souls-like tendencies, and right in the same way that what game were we playing? I can't remember. But in the same way that like the depths and stuff has like roguelite elements, right? Ghost of Tsushima, for the beginning chunk of that game, kind of plays like a Souls. It's nowhere near as difficult.
Okay.
Not at all. And it's not punishing. But as far as like the combat itself goes, it's a lot slower, wants you to pay attention. Then you realize that you can unlock different stances and you turn into Batman. It's amazing. It's an amazing game.
I'd say, honestly, yeah. If in terms of like for a next Souls-like game, Elden Ring, yes, is the easiest one to go to, just because like then you're gonna get more of that like Dark Souls-esque kind of feel, but it's still open world. You have a lot of more options to it. But honestly, it's not gonna be Souls-like in terms of like this combat feels like Dark Souls, but it's Souls-like in the fact that like it's punishing, it's difficult, that kind of thing. I'd almost recommend Remnant.
Ooh,
because,
yeah,
like,
it's a shooter too.
It's a third-person shooter, so you're not getting like the sword combat necessarily. There is melee weapon, but it's very rarely used. But it still has the Souls function of like you have this currency that you get from killing enemies. If you die, you have to recover it. If you die along the way, you lose it. I think that would definitely be a fun one to try out.
I need to go back
and
to
it'd be
Remnant.
very fun because we could all play together.
I think I have it.
Did you pick it up at one point?
I might have.
Was it a free game?
I think it was.
I think it might have been.
Yeah,
Do
but
we need to play Remnant?
do I need to re-download Remnant?
Is it time?
I want to play what's that PS5 game? That like, what am I thinking of?
I still need to play Lake.
It's out.
That's a Souls game.
Lake is out.
That's a Souls game.
Lake is what's it?
written down.
Returnal. I want to play Returnal and hate it. That's what I want.
You absolutely hate it.
I want to play. I heard the co-op sucked. I heard it was like a letdown.
Returnal was when they announced the co-op for it. I was honestly kind of thinking, I'm like, really? Returnal co-op? Okay.
See,
Like,
it's
I don't know.
like it's weird because I like shmups and like having to dodge kind of like a bullet hell, but I don't really like bullet hells. Like you get those classic Japanese bullet hells; those things are evil. Those are evil games. But like in like the lesser like shmup area of bullet hells where you're just normal dodging stuff and doing a little thing, I love those because I love just getting into the zone and doing it. But then when you go all the way up to like the bullet hell, I cry and I feel bad about it. But I like Nier. I can also cheat with Nier, so Nier let me cheat, so it wasn't that bad. I literally just like stacked my character with so much health and regen that like I couldn't take damage. There was a part in the game where I thought I was supposed to lose because it was taking so long to get through because I just couldn't die. I was regenerating health. So turns out I'm not supposed to lose it. I just wasn't doing enough damage. But yeah, no. So get him into Remnant.
Yeah.
Oh, what about indie Souls like Titan Souls or something?
I haven't played Titan Souls. I heard about it. Heard it was good.
Or Monster Hunter's not a Souls game, but I really like
played,
Monster Hunter.
I have Monster Hunter, but I just haven't played it.
You have Monster
Played
Hunter?
a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. He picked it up.
Did we play it together?
No, I didn't get through the tutorial.
Okay.
I played a little bit of Salt and Sanctuary.
The new
which
one
is a
or just
2D.
like isn't there a new one out or
No.
something?
The new one's Salt and Sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I played a little bit of the first one. It wasn't my thing. The 2D Souls like games aren't my thing. I'm not a big 2D like person.
They remind me of like old school Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and it doesn't have that. It's weird because it does the thing I want Souls games to do and like be faster, more like combo based stuff like that. But because it's still at its core like a Soul style game, it's that plus it's also just hard as hell and punishing.
It's a Souls game in like Metroidvania.
Yeah, and like that, then it becomes too much. Like, yeah, I like the fast combat because Platinum games, Spectacle Fighters like Bayonetta stuff like they are hard, but they don't punish you in the same way. That's the thing. If you want to be good at like the games are difficult, but they're not punishing. You can like crawl your way through it. The problem is with a Souls game is going to let you crawl your way through nothing. You're gonna have to get your way through that. So then you get into like these side-scrolling roguelites, and you get oh, it's fast paced, do all your combos, see the matrix as it flies past your eyes. Also, don't get hit ever.
Salt and Sanctuary, Blasphemous, and then
Didn't you like Blasphemous?
Hollow Knight. I didn't play a lot of Blasphemous. I enjoy the style of it. I'd love to play more of it.
You're like, I need to fuel my heathen soul.
Listen, when I saw the ad for, or the teaser for Blasphemous, and it showed the giant baby ripping you in half, I'm like, yeah, I want to play that.
It's Striker. What hard games have you played? So when you're playing like sports games, do you just like kick that all the way up to the hardest difficulty? But don't those games start to cheat?
Valley.
Stardew Valley
I
on
think
ultra hard mode.
There's no difficulty on Stardew, I'm pretty sure.
You knew.
Get down to the depths and you really start feeling it.
No, I didn't really, because mostly I would just load up on bombs and stuff.
So
that's
we'll have to
everywhere.
like turn. What we have to do for him for those is
No, you mentioned Remnant had currency, if I remember correctly, and I'm a capitalist, so.
I mean,
yeah,
everything has
immediately-
currency. That's why we need to play an MMO together and go and try to crash the stock market in a video game.
I just need to get Striker onto RuneScape and set him loose on the Grand Exchange. He's gonna be over there flipping items.
I watched a video spiffing Brit, and he literally went into Final Fantasy 14 and just like ruined an entire server's economy by himself with like a free account. Just ruined the entire server's economy. He wasn't even playing the game. Like a brand new character. He got to like level 10 or 20 or something like that, so he could have everything unlocked, and ruined the entire economy because all the people who like left WoW and came over to Final Fantasy, they are on like the PvP servers, and the PvP players do not care to go and like farm items and do all like the RP and other stuff. They just want to like run dungeons and fight each other. But the problem is that because no one's doing any of the farming stuff, everything on the market is super expensive, right? Like a 10 gil fish will be like 150 gil. So what he did, he went to that server, and you could switch servers freely. So he goes to a regular server where he could like buy up all the stuff for cheap, right? Like at normal prices. Goes back to the PvP server and sells it on the PvP server at like 200% markup because they need it because no one's farming it.
That's something I would do.
And
That's pretty much me with the selling coffee makers on campus. I told you guys about.
oh yeah, he was like a coffee maker
yeah.
mogul, like
Well,
monger,
yeah,
coffee
because-
monger.
Yeah, because I found out like 2 out of the 3 resident halls on the Redneck campus couldn't have coffee makers for some reason, but everyone brought their Keurigs, couldn't get rid of them, so I bought them cheap and then sold them to the one resident hall that could actually use them. And I'd buy them for like $5 and sell them for 40 and tell people they're brand new.
Isn't that like illegal? You have to be like new. If you tell people,
Well, okay, I like new, out of the box.
yeah,
Exactly,
you
it
go
is
tell
out
them
of
it's
the
like,
box.
I mean, this is basically new. It's like new. You know, then I think you might be okay with as far as like any legal issue goes. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Hashtag not legal advice.
It's been like 3 years. I'm fine. But well, and then there was my whole election on campus where I entered the last week and I almost won because I was trying to rig it.
Okay, wait. Start that over. Wait, you guys start that over. There was a what on campus? Like you guys had
There
like
was,
class
like,
president or something?
Yes, yeah, pretty much freshman president or something like that. Part of the school committee.
Okay,
and...
how's that story go?
All right, so you had one of my friends Samantha running, and she was a big favorite. A kid named Cade, which everyone was kind of iffy about. Then a few others, and then like 3 days before the voting was open, I announced that I was running. and not officially announced. I just told people to write my name in on the other bracket, pretty much, where you can just write a random name besides those already listed. And I got a whole resin hall to do it because I had a whole bunch of like just chocolate bars or something like that, and I was just giving them to people that I didn't buy them, and people were just accepting. People were just accepting them, and I almost won. I actually thought I won, but then because I didn't officially announce I was running, Samantha won. And then I was running, like, kind of campaigns, like smear campaigns against people, where I was like, you know Cade? He's dating a girl in high school. Isn't that kind of weird?
Is that? Can you do that? Do we need to call an ethics committee on you? Like, what's...
But it was, I mean, it was true. Everyone thought it was pretty weird, but I was pushing it, where I was just like, he
Wait,
ended
what?
up leaving the school.
You chased someone out of the school?
No, he ended up leaving anyways. He was going to anyways. I talked.
He
to him
smeared
about
this
it.
guy
He
so
was fine
bad
with
he
it.
had to withdraw from school. He had to like go into
No,
witness
it
protection.
It was fine. It wasn't that.
Oh my
bad.
god. This is the kind of people that we bring in to like do shows with us. Just Chance is speechless. He's just
I've told you guys about this before. I mean, I don't.
You tell us this stuff, but it's like every single time. It doesn't matter how many times you told us. It's still gonna just be like, holy shit, I'm friends with this dude. Who's like, oh yeah, I ran a smear campaign back in college, you know.
He's like,
I gave out chocolate bars. I didn't buy them.
he's like, yeah, I had like an underground like gambling ring and like.
We tried to. All right. We tried to start a fight club.
You literally tell these stories about what you've done in college, and it literally sounds like you're running a gambit on a government level.
I am no, so what about I made
It's all right.
hall
You're
passes
wrong.
in high school. I made a bunch of fake hall passes and gave them out to people. I should have sold them.
I was a good boy and didn't do anything bad.
Our teacher told us to skip class on
Wrong.
senior skip day.
I got suspended once. Because
I never got
listened.
suspended.
I listened to Last Resort on the school computers in 4th grade.
Wait, they
Last Resort
suspended
by
you for
Papa
that?
Roach. Yeah, 'cause it says fuck in it. They also had to bring me into the office to discuss the content of the song and make sure I was mentally okay. To which I didn't understand what it meant. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's
I got in trouble.
To be fair, like when I'm.
I got in trouble for
suspended,
like spinning my car around in the school parking lot, like doing 180s in my car.
That sounds fun.
It was. There's like people around just dancing. There's no one in the parking lot. You were the only person in the parking lot being a narc. Actually, it wasn't them being. It was the narc. Like it was the vice principal.
Vice principal, you fucking narc.
You just close your eyes and walk away.
Who you gonna tell? The real principal?
he was mad at me because like I'm not a person like I don't get all mad and stuff when I get in trouble because like I did it. I wasn't like denying that I did it. I was doing it. He was like, "You don't think this is serious?" It's like, no, I'm just not gonna cry and whine about it. Like I did it. I did do the thing that I'm being accused of. You know, like they expect kids to be like, or mad or something, or like cry. It's like, no, it's like, I did the thing. You are correct. We're gonna do like deny it. Like you were right there. You watched me doing it. So, and then I got in more trouble because of that. Apparently, I should have been more upset about it.
Yeah. To be fair, me mentioning that I wasn't suspended, you kind of have to think about the fact that I was homeschooled from middle school to high school, so it's like there wasn't really much.
I want you to be
for me
suspended from homeschool. Like you're
Just
Get out!
discount.
I've never been grounded.
How?
I've
You
just
tell me about all your exploits, and I'm like,
because
no,
he
that's
did it
not-
out of school. He did it. He did it when he went to college. Kid was raised by Call of Duty. Like, that doesn't sound better. I was trying to make like a point of him being like a baby and like a whiny. It's like he was raised on Call of Duty. It's like, why aren't you just extremely racist?
It kind of goes back to our whole thing where you mentioned it. The internet saved me and Aaron.
I think the
from being
internet saved
racist.
you.
Yeah.
I think the internet saved you. Like, we're not gonna get into like your family business right now, but like,
But,
I'm just saying, it's
yeah.
like, you're a good boy. I don't know how.
After
You're
explaining my whole shenanigans of the college, you're a good boy.
a good boy. I know you went off to college and became bad. You're like a preacher's daughter. Just like, come out and you're like, I'm tired of praying and going to church. I wanna do drugs and
I've never done
sing
that.
karaoke.
I've never sung karaoke.
Chance, go to a karaoke bar with me. No, not a
Okay.
karaoke bar, but like, let's go
Like-
do karaoke.
You
Like,
want to
the,
rent?
the Japanese like style karaoke.
Yeah,
where
like
it's,
Asian
you're in a
karaoke.
private room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Rent?
I just
Aren't
don't
there,
want
like-
to sing in front of people.
No
Aren't
one
there
knows.
like karaoke like buses or something like that?
Oh,
That sounds
probably.
expensive and like getting drunk. Like, was it like car karaoke? Wasn't that like a TV show or something?
Maybe. I-
What? Cash Cab. Watch Cash Cab.
Cab. I love Cash Cab.
It is, right? It's like a Stephen Colbert thing, or am I make? It's like car karaoke. Am I crazy? No. Okay. Just so Striker. What?
We mentioned Stardew for like a little bit, and it made me remember something that happened somewhat recently. It happened since we last recorded. I just want to give it a quick shout out. All the people who are making mods for Stardew that just alter the opening cutscene of Grandpa in bed. Have you seen these?
No, what is
No,
that?
I have not.
Okay, I'll send a link to this article. This one I'm specifically looking at the PC Gamer article. There's
Okay.
a whole bunch of these, but I'll put it in our chat now.
Okay.
But
I can
it literally,
get that in post.
so it literally, it just changes the opening cutscene where you see your grandpa lying in bed, but it changes the image to different things. So there's the article. One of the ones is Grandpa, but he's in a Family Guy death pose. There's a slightly worse Grandpa bed where just one of the legs on the bed is broken off and is leaning over. There's a worse dying Grandpa where he's like been dead and he has he's buzzing around him and no bed. There's Grandpa pissed himself where they just make it look like he pissed the bed.
What?
Playing ping pong on Grandpa's bed. Grandpa's bed is the envelope. Grandpa-less bed, where it's just a bed. Grandpa is the bed. Grandpa's a Joja Cola addict. And then Robin tricked you as Grandpa to buy buildings.
Jesus. Okay. Why is that a thing?
But they're all mods, literally just to change that intro cutscene, and I think it's hilarious.
I modded Stardew
Yeah, you did, just to add anime.
just to make it look more anime, and I gave fox ears to which was the artist chick, Layla?
You're
Leah?
a disgusting person.
Leah.
Yeah, the one that yeah, she.
Can't be bothered
It's
to talk to
funny.
you.
Because like once you like start forming relationships in the town people, you start to learn how tragic everyone's life is or some shit.
Everybody's
Everyone-
depressed.
Yeah, that's what happens when you live in a small town.
Mm.
I remember.
I have friends who like when it's like I don't want to live. I want to go live out in the country in a small town. It's like you just don't want to deal with problems. You just want to be depressed and not deal with your emotions.
I need to look up who I romanced in my first playthrough of Stardew.
I've only romanced 2 people in that game.
All this
Which
time
is,
you've been playing this game. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm just expanding. Like I made a winery. I'm going into more like artisan type stuff. I'm making different types of cheese and all that. I'm pretty much.
I'm expanding, guys.
I'm expanding.
Why don't you play
Where-
4X games? Really good.
I don't know what that is.
Kind of like Civ.
Oh, yeah. Um, so like recently in it, I moved away from like just farming vegetables and stuff. The only thing I'm farming is like star fruit and grapes, so I can make wine and all that. And then like what was the other thing? Like there's like something you can get at the cart that comes every time. He
Mm-hmm.
has a it's driven by a hippo or something. I don't know.
Hippocart.
It's a wagon something.
Are you?
Um, what?
I was gonna say, are you excited about the Star?
Haunted Chocolatier?
Yes, and what was it called? Spellbrook. That's never coming out, but
I haven't heard of Spellbrook.
so it's made by. It's not the Stardew Valley guys, I don't think.
It's
But
inspired.
yeah, but it's basically Stardew Valley, but like Harry Potter.
I'm definitely gonna get the Chocolatier game when that comes out. I want to make
Called
chocolate.
Witchbrook.
Yeah, what did I say? Spellbrook. I think that's a TV show. I think it's like a teen drama.
Which, by the way, I looked it up just to see the character I romanced in Stardew was Penny, and her whole story
Penny.
is the fact that she has a alcoholic mom who is incredibly emotionally abusive and is the worst. And it's like, meanwhile, she's like the sweetest person in town ever. And I'm just like, I got to that plot line and I went, oh no.
Oh
No.
no, that's God. That's an anime thing too.
Well, it's like the character Leah you mentioned, Mateo.
Yeah.
Her like ex-boyfriend shows up and he's like abusive or some shit. Or
That's why everyone
it's
lives. That's what happens when you live in a small town. I was watching spoilers for Resident Alien. If anyone gives a shit about that show,
I've
first
never
season's
heard
pretty
of it.
okay. It's a sci-fi show, but
I figured.
like the channel sci-fi. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, it's that kind of quality. First season's okay, but the main character, like, it's supposed to be like this alien has. I dropped my controller over my thing. Okay. The first thing is supposed to be this alien who is like living in this small like Colorado town, like up in the mountains or whatever. And one of the problems is that it's supposed to it's hard for them to blend in as a human because everyone's supposed to know each other, right? There can't be no more than like maybe 1,000 people in this town or whatever. Except every time they keep finding people who don't know each other. When the main female, her boyfriend was like abusive, and he's like, I ran away from him and hid the fact that I had a daughter, so he doesn't know that he has a daughter. It's like, y'all live down the street from each other. This this is a small Colorado town. The nearest Walmart is like an hour away. What? How are you hiding from him? Just in the second season, his ship crashes into baseball diamond. But it's invisible, so you can't see it. But you see like where it landed, and all of everything is just like the dirt's all thrown up. There's a big rut, like someone like exploded half of the baseball diamond. And then that night they just play a baseball game like it's normal. Like no one's gonna talk about the hole in like an outfield. Nah. Okay, I guess. So stupid.
Speaking of aliens, I've been on this. I don't know why, this movie binge where I've been watching like animated movies from the late 2000s, early 2010s, and not even good ones. Just like really shit ones where they're just not very good. I don't know if you consider it shit. Do you guys remember that movie Planet 51 or whatever, where it's Dwayne Johnson but as a white guy, like stereotypical like Chad.
Why does that sound
Fucking-
familiar?
I know of it. I didn't see it.
I don't think I saw it.
It's
There was a
really
time
weird.
where like Dwayne The Rock Johnson was just like, and it was recent too, right? He was just like in everything. Is like, this movie's not
Yeah.
good, but it has The Rock in it, and he's cool.
Yeah.
He'll
Most of
just
his movies
smile
are
at
very
me, and
good.
I'll be okay.
Um,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's smile cures depression.
yeah. It was just a weird movie. Like they kept trying to. It was almost like they were trying to make everything the opposite of life here. Like instead of like raining water, obviously, it's like raining like boulders and shit. And I'm like, how's no one dead? And I'm like, this is like a problem.
Just it rains boulders. I don't know why I found that so funny.
And then like the pets are all like aliens from Alien versus Predator and stuff like that.
Like the face crabs and stuff.
No,
it
like
means the xenomorph, and it's
xenomorph.
not. Xenomorphs aren't from Alien versus Predator. They're from Alien.
No, because I thought it'd be weird to say alien from Alien, so I said Alien versus Predator.
You know Naruto from Fortnite?
Yeah, I do.
How about?
I had that conversation with my cousin not too long ago because he plays Fortnite all the time. That's all he wants to talk about with me.
Strucker,
And
when
he
you
said,
gonna
"I'm
play
gonna make
Fortnite
all
with
this
us?
at some point." That doesn't mean anything. That he's like, I'm gonna make so much money making skins and selling them. Like that's gonna be my job when I'm an adult. I'm like, I don't. I mean,
He needs
good for you
to.
if
He
you
needs
wanna
to get a. Does he have a Mac? Does he have an actual computer?
He does it on his phone.
He need. Oh God. He needs an actual computer, and he needs to get into
That's
CS:GO.
future.
He can go sell weapon skins,
Oh God.
make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That money.
Um,
Speaking of which,
But-
do you guys know what a Korean finger heart is?
no.
Go like that, and it's a Korean finger heart.
Oh. That,
Yeah, love you guys.
yeah, I love you. My hand looks so pale.
Look how white
I'm-
my palms are.
Look at how white my everything is.
Chess
I'm like
doesn't go
yellow.
outside.
You can tell I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
all that gaming juice. You have to
I'm
stay.
like the same.
What?
I'm like the same color of my wall. In the.
Yeah. Huh.
God
Jamie.
damn. Now I can't look at Striker.
And not he just disappears behind the wall, doesn't he?
If I just know I'm looking at the camera I'm like I'm exactly the same color. If you shave me baby
You're turning
smooth, I would
red,
blend
Chance.
And now my face is red because I'm laughing. Oh man.
Oh, that's great. That is. I don't... This is dumb.
Video games.
Video games are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
I've been playing Tokyo Ghostwire. It's not a bad game.
Does it do the like Far Cry kind of style open
God, it
world?
feels like Far Cry. It feels so much like Far Cry. Now, granted, I haven't played Far Cry since like Far Cry 5, but like, it feels so much like Far Cry. It feels like a game that should have came out like on like the 360 or something.
I mean, you say you haven't played a Far Cry since Far Cry 5, but like that means you've missed 2 games.
I guess.
So New Dawn and 6, which
Okay.
I haven't even finished 6.
You like it?
I started playing it, I liked it, and then other games came out and I haven't wanted to go back.
Yeah, no. So, Tokyo, what's it called? Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm tired of these games with these complicated names. Immortals Phoenix Rising. Tokyo,
That sounds overcomplicated.
Ghostwire
Phoenix
Tokyo.
Rising.
Ghostwire. I'm just gonna call it Ghostwire. Ghostwire, like, I don't even really need to explain it. It is exactly what you think of when it's like collectathon, Ubisoft style open world. You have to go get the Torii gates to unlock more parts of the map. Combat is very cool, not very polished. Like, you should never have to go into a game that's a first-person shooter and immediately adjust all the settings just to make the game playable. Because it has, like, mouse acceleration. But it ramps up like how, you know, like Mario runs? It's like how he starts slow and then speeds up. That's
People hate that.
That's how the shooting works in the game. So the very first thing I had to do was turn that as fast as it'll go to get rid of it, and then change it from like fidelity mode to performance mode so I can actually have enough frames to play the game. because it'll make it run at a stable 60. It's such an atmospheric game. It's not scary, but it has startled me quite a bit. It's not hard. I'm just bad. But also, like, the shooting is just, it's okay. Like, it's better than, like, every single, like, first-person, like, survival game, you know, like The Forest and all those games. But it's not, like, it's not as good as Far Cry. It's, like, maybe as good as, like, Fallout. It's not even an RPG, but that's about as good as the shooting feels. It's like a Fallout game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's fun. I got it on sale. It's a fun game. I say it's worth a playthrough because it's the story is bog standard generic, but it's so cool. Like, it's just such a cool game. I recommend people play it. Like, I want Tango Gameworks to make more video games. They did The Evil Within. That was cool. I want more games. Just make more games happen. Please, please.
I'm like scrolling through like games coming up soon.
Nothing's
Just,
coming.
I'm gonna have to get a PS5
You have to get, yeah.
because
So, the new Arkham game?
yeah.
Well, actually, it's not a new Arkham game.
No, that's still really weird to me because it like in the trailers it starts off where like Arkham.
Yeah. Spoilers for
pretty
Arkham,
much.
but but they're not related. It's the Suicide Squad game that's in the Arkhamverse. The Suicide Squad game takes place in the Arkham game series, and Deadshot is black now. So,
I'm guessing because of the movies.
well, yeah, and the comic book stuff. So I wonder if they're just doing it like it's a title, right, as opposed to the same person. I don't know, but it's a black guy now. I'm excited for it for when it comes out. I'm also excited. Have you guys seen the gameplay for Arkham? I know I posted it in the Discord. I don't know if you guys watched it.
I saw. I don't think I
The new
watched
one.
it, but I saw a clip of Jason Todd doing his whole like running across the sky type thing.
Okay,
Where he can.
so like, it has like the whole like power level equipment thing, and that kind of scares me a little bit. I don't think this is going to be another Marvel's Avengers. I really don't think that, but I'm so sick of everything having looters. It's like, you got to keep people coming back and wanting more. It's like, no, you don't. Just let me play your 20-hour game and be done with it. It's like, no, you got to play this every week. We're going to have weekly events. I don't know if they're going to do any of that. I just really hope they don't. I'm so tired of leveling up power levels and stuff. So sick of it.
Do you think replay value is important?
No.
Like, especially for like story games. Well, I guess
not
story.
for
No.
Mateo. Mateo doesn't replay games.
I don't really like it.
Well, it's funny because I saw someone talking about like some of the Rockstar games and stuff like that, especially like Red Dead 2, where people are like, well, you can't, like, it's hard to replay because it's so fucking long.
It's so long, and there's stuff. There is replay value though, the Red Dead 2, because there's literally entire quest lines I missed.
I didn't do many of the side.
There's an entire quest line. There's like this whole quest line about a vampire. I just didn't.
I didn't know about that. But yeah, there's still tons of stuff to do, but the issue is that it's so long.
And I didn't make enough save spots. Yeah, and I didn't make enough save spots. And once you get to certain parts, you can't go back. It's like a whole thing. It's like a whole thing.
There's definitely replay value there, but I saw some people saying, well, that's why the game isn't very good. And I'm like, well, I think the story's really good. It's a very long and...
It was a very divisive game because it's very deliberate.
It's a movie. It's
like playing a movie, right? Like, things are slow.
Like the Uncharted games are kind
Uncharted
of
like popularized that style, right? But the problem is Uncharted is constantly trying to be cool and fun. Red Dead don't give a shit about not being that. Red Dead will be like, we're gonna walk slow.
Uncharted is the movie sections are like the cutscenes are like the setup, and then the gameplay is all the action. Whereas Red Dead, you'll have the cutscenes, but then you still have to ride your horse to a new town and do nothing. Which, while yes, is scenic, I guess it's not. It's definitely a way to make your game feel long because you're just gonna have long expanses of just.
Gormer wasn't good.
Uncharted, while shorter, definitely, every single gameplay moment is like you're doing something. The only time you're not really doing something is when you're climbing, which is
You're
its
still-
own like argument. in
yeah, you're
itself.
still doing something, right?
Something.
But it's like
It's just
the
not entertaining.
what's it called? Uncharted is like the Michael Bay movies, like a Michael Bay movie or like a J.J. Abrams movie or Star Wars or something like that, right? And like Red Dead Redemption is like a Sundance film.
The Uncharted. I watched the Uncharted movie.
Have you? Is it good?
For
Is it good as an Indiana Jones New Age movie? Like, that's the question. Not do they adapt Uncharted perfectly, but like, is it a fun archaeology, dig, action, jump out of an airplane movie?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I have to say about it.
I
don't
can't
really
see
have
Tom
any,
Holland
like,
as anything other than a baby.
I know. I thought the casting
Not-
was really weird.
I think but I think he has the look and everything, but he's also like short and
Whoa.
a like, it's not even that like, oh, he's Spider-Man to me. I can get past that. I can't see him as an adult. What?
Really young look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a little
Well, and I
baby.
think part of it too is like with the Uncharted movie, they try to fit in like multiple different plot lines that happened
Okay.
throughout the multiple games.
Yeah.
Like especially including like Uncharted 4 with the brother and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's like a later on thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
It's just a lot. God.
yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot they try to pack.
The Halo
Yeah,
TV
'cause, like,
shows.
the plane scene happens in 3.
Yeah. That's like one of
So
the big
when I
ones, though,
saw
right? The train and the plane scenes are like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
big Uncharted.
Train was better.
Yeah.
But
Train is so cool.
but man, the Halo TV show is a show that's online.
Spoiler, because I saw this just online, and I understand why people would be upset. So spoiler for the Halo TV show.
Episode 8.
Chief kisses Halsey?
No.
Or
What?
Who is that?
No.
Is that Halsey? Or
No,
who
that's
is it?
that's the Covenant girl. So Chief falls in love.
Covenant girl?
There's a girl that was kidnapped when she was young and was raised by the Covenant. You know, instead of like making the Covenant their own characters, because the Arbiter is not, you know, relatable enough. But whatever. So there's a Covenant girl, and they like fall in love, and then they kiss and have sex, and Cortana watches.
Wait, is she recording it? Like, is she acting like a watch for later type thing?
So like
Where it's
Cortana, because they changed a lot of like weird details about it. I don't mind that they changed. It's just weird that they did. So like, instead of it being like a neural interface, they literally injected Cortana into Master Chief's skull, so she's like in his head. So,
Okay.
but she's like, Cortana's been hanging out with Halsey. Halsey like got kicked off of Reach because she's a war criminal. Okay, whatever. But so Cortana can see everything that Master Chief sees. So Master Chief's up here banging, and it just cuts to Cortana standing in the room with Halsey while Cortana's like staring off into space out the window. She's just like,
Uh-oh.
it's very strange.
when you mention like Covenant, based on what you've told me about Halo, Mateo, at least if I remember correctly, are the Elders part of like the Covenant? Are they? The,
Yeah,
like, the head
so
of, like...
it's.
I thought you were gonna say
like-
the Elders and Master Chief.
Do you know what
Chief
the
piece.
prophets look like? Chance, could you like put a thing in the Discord so he knows what the
Yeah,
prophets
I
look
can-
like?
Yeah. I want
Which
Prophet
scene
Rule
of
34.
Prophet making out with Chief.
I'm sure it exists. I don't know if you want to search
Dude.
that, but
you gotta to achieve peace.
Oh no. Alright, where's a
It's-
good image of the
it's kinda-
prophet?
It's kind of like marriage policies in politics, where you know.
dude, they're basic Catholic. Like, so the whole thing in Halo is that there's this ancient race of
Yeah,
people,
prophet.
the Forerunners, right? And they're super advanced, basically ruled the galaxy, then they disappear. Fast forward to like the time Halo takes place, and this group of aliens called the Covenant, it's a bunch of different species of aliens, and at the head are the prophets, and they like find the leftovers in the ruins of the forerunners and stuff like that. You know, in the same way that we find like, you know, ancient Egyptian stuff, and they're like, we have to follow in their footsteps. Right? It's like us in the Mayan calendar, basically. So it's like the Covenant were like, we have to follow in their footsteps, and they're trying to translate the language, and they translate this thing called like what they think is the reclamation. So they're like, we have to like follow in their footsteps so we can go through the reclamation and ascend like the forerunners did. That's why they all disappeared at the same time. That's what they think. And it turns out none of that's true. And they actually died because they were trying to get rid of the flood, like annihilated the entire galaxy of life. But it turns out that the word they're traveling looking for forerunner artifacts and stuff. And they get to this planet, and it's full of, they find it's like, oh, this planet's full of forerunner artifacts. And it turns out that the forerunner artifacts.
Oh, I thought you were gonna find an image of Master Chief.
Master Chief fucking no. So the forerunner artifacts are all humans, and it turns out they mistranslated reclamation as reclaimer. The word is actually reclaimer, and the reclaimers are humans. But because the prophets were like, oh, if we tell people that we fucked up our translation, our entire religion will fall apart. It will lose power. Because that means our entire war that we've been going on doesn't make any sense. So they say, well, actually, humans are heretics, and they're the enemy of the Covenant, and they're trying to stop us from ascending. So they just lied about the whole thing, and they're trying to wipe out humans to cover up their lie. So that is
like they kind of look like the leader from Destroy All Humans.
Yeah.
Lead alien.
I wish that remake was good.
No, it wasn't very good. I
Well,
got it.
You got it? The
yeah,
remake?
I did a while ago.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything to update it. It's like, I'll just go play the old one. Or get it when it's like $15 on sale or something.
The graphics look better, but the gameplay is kind of wonky. And there's one level I just couldn't get through. I was so pissed because I'm like, I can't do this. Because it was even super difficult in the original. Like, I don't think I actually went past it in the original either. Where it's almost ridiculous. Where it's, I don't know. It's like you have to face like a shitload of military soldiers and stuff like that.
Are you an old game player? You like old games?
I like old I like I don't know. I've liked a lot of the remastered stuff, especially Spyro. Spyro was super good.
Mateo constantly tells me I'm an old person with my games.
He's an old person. He's weird. He has very specific old person things though. He just needs to be from the 80s. But Chance had the perfect like comeback though. He's like, nah, this is perfect because I get to play all the old stuff and all the new stuff.
Yeah, I play everything. Literally, like I will go from playing like old school RuneScape and like original Final Fantasy VII, and then go and play some of the new stuff as well. Like I play everything.
I have no interest to play the original Final Fantasy VII.
I've enjoyed it. It's been fun.
Persona has ruined me on turn-based combat.
Persona 5 is still my favorite in terms of turn-based combat, but like, it's still fun.
What's funny is that, like, I think it was like a year ago. I've never played any Final Fantasy game, but I saw a clip come up from the original Final Fantasy VII when Aerith dies. Is that her name?
Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII.
What?
Damn, dude.
I know. Not like it's super old or anything. Is that her name?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that. Yeah. And I don't know why. I didn't know who the characters were or whatever. I watched a scene and I got upset.
It's impactful.
I know, the music was really impactful.
The
I'm like, why
music
do I
is
care about that?
But I'll still look. I don't care what anyone says. The writing, especially in the original Final Fantasy VII, is awful. Because the translation's so bad. The translation to the original Final Fantasy is so bad. Like,
I just love that, like, there are multiple parts where it's just like Barrett will cuss or something, but they just put like just different symbols for it. Like
the old school, like
the game's
like a
rated
comic book.
T, so they're not gonna say like "you fucking idiot." Like they're not gonna make Barrett say that, but they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, just put like some sensors there, and then
Censored
its
censored
business.
cursing is just the best.
Mm.
It almost makes it better.
They'll
Like
censor out that, but then when when you go and talk to a random garden, he says the R word. That's fine. it was a different time.
yeah, it was.
It
Yeah, it was.
still caught me so off guard.
Yeah. But no, it's God. Okay, look, we're coming up at about time, but no, that was cool. It's good to talk to you guys. I feel like I've talked to you forever. It's like, who are you people?
Yeah.
I don't know you anymore. And
We didn't even.
Wanna hang
We
out
didn't.
after this?
We
Like-
didn't. Yeah,
I know.
I'm gonna
We
get
need-
on PlayStation after this. I'm playing Code
I am
Vein.
too.
Yeah, I'm about to go hop on
You're gonna
too.
Code Vein?
I'm like, ooh.
Wait.
You can
Oh.
download Remnant.
Well, I'll download Remnant. I don't have Code Vein. But
You don't need to get it.
You don't need to get it.
no, I don't.
If you're near a GameStop, it's like $15 used. So
Yeah. You know
If-
what I think I'm gonna
that
do?
sale's not going on anymore.
I think I'm just gonna get Bloodborne and jump into it. I don't care about the pain and misery.
I think Bloodborne's
It was
cool.
a free game at one
It was a
point.
free game.
It was.
Yes, all these
One
games
point.
are always free. We only recommend games to you that
Get
are
a
like
PlayStation
cheap
5,
or
you get
free.
it for free.
Oh really? Wow.
Oh yeah. Bloodborne goes on
Huh.
sale quite a bit.
It does.
And it's part of the PlayStation hits. So
Yeah,
like
so it's
the
only
lowest-
20
You'll
bucks.
always find it for like $20. You'll always find it for $20, but like you can probably get it on sale at some point for like $10.
Yeah, that's on sale a lot.
Yeah.
If you go to a GameStop, you probably find it for $5.
So
Like it was an original PlayStation 4, like title. Like,
Yeah.
It was a launch.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, it's.
Bloodborne. I
Uh,
love Bloodborne. It is punishing.
I love Jess's camera just keeps freezing.
Yeah. Is he gone?
No, I think
Yeah.
he's,
Oh,
you're
he's
still here,
gone.
right?
No, I'm here.
Yeah, your just
Oh,
camera's
okay.
just
I'm
freezing.
here.
Oh.
My camera's frozen.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
no.
fine now though.
I see me.
But
now you're going like this really fast. so-
as we're going out, is there anything that any random things that people want to call attention to as we wind down here?
Midgard's a good game.
It is.
That's a good game.
Maybe we'll talk about Midgard next
Never
time.
played a bit of Midgard.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to play more of that at some
That'd be
point.
fun,
But
for sure.
You got anything, Chance?
I feel like I did. No, it's gone.
Okay then.
we, we
I
didn't even say the name of the podcast.
no,
at
we
the
don't have a
beginning.
name. There's no name here.
I thought it was under the table. Wasn't that?
That's a secret. They're not allowed under the table.
Censor that out.
Censor that out. We'll bleep it in post. I
Just put a black,
Secret.
put like a black bar over my
Yeah.
mouth when I say
I want
this.
everyone to watch.
Redacted.
I want everyone. I've been watching way too much Uncle Roger on YouTube, so everyone should go watch Uncle Roger. And I'm excited for Saints Row. That's looking good.
Still coming out. It's still got some time. It's October that comes out, right?
Yep.
So I
Everyone.
looked up games that were like coming out soon.
Yep.
The only one that weirded me out is for some reason they're re-releasing the Shadowrun trilogy on like everything, and I'm like,
Okay.
okay.
Well, we'll have to talk about it next time, but we'll talk about all these games getting delayed. Namely, what the fuck is Starfield? People are like mad it got delayed. It's like I don't even know what the game is. So we'll talk about that
Yeah.
next time. So that'll
Yeah.
give people a reason to come back, so they can hear us whine about games that are never coming out, like Vampire the Masquerade.
Or Dead Island
It's-
2.
They're never happening.
Never happening. Okay, well that's it from us. I've been Mateo.
I'm Striker.
I'm Chunk Willem.
Chunk
Yeah.
Willem, and
Chunk.
we'll see you next time.
See
Later,
ya.
everybody.
Peace out.